Alright, you are welcome again. Let's see what we have for today. We are still solving limit under calculus. And then this question says, evaluate the limit if it exists. Lim as x approaches 1. Square root of 5 minus x minus 2 all over square root of 2 minus x minus 1. Alright, this is what we are asked to solve. Okay, before we continue, let's impute 1 wherever we see x. So in doing so, we are going to arrive at 0 all over 0. So that means we got a work to do. That means there is a need for our evaluation. We want to solve this so that when we will insert 1 in this function, it will give us a value, not 0 all over 0. Okay? Now let's see. We have lim as x approaches 1. Square root of 5 minus x minus 2 all over square root of 2 minus x minus 1. Please pay attention to this. The ones we have been solving so far is different from this. For this is a little bit advanced than the previous ones we have been solving. Okay? Now pay attention and see what we are going to do. You know, when we have square root 5 minus x and then minus 5, we discover that we can multiply this function by the conjugate all over the conjugate. Okay? But you discover that we also have almost the same expression in our denominator. We have square root in the numerator and then also square root in the denominator. So that means we are going to perform this operation twice. We are going to multiply this function by the conjugate of the numerator and then also multiply it again by the conjugate of the word denominator. Now listen. When conjugate is divided by conjugate, it will give us what? 1. 1 times our function, it remains our function. Okay? Then our another conjugate divided by conjugate by that same conjugate, it will give us what? 1 times our function. Our function remains the same. Okay? Now let me show you what I'm trying to say. We are going to pick the conjugate of the numerator. Then we're going to say the conjugate of numerator divided by the conjugate of the numerator multiplied by our function. Multiply also the conjugate of the denominator all over the conjugate of the denominator multiplied by our function. Now let's see it. Lim as x approaches 1. Square root of 5 minus x minus 2 all over square root of 2 minus x minus 1 times now the conjugate of the numerator, square root of 5 minus x plus 2 all over the same conjugate, square root of 5 minus x plus 2 times now the conjugate of the denominator, square root of 2 minus x plus 1 all over the same conjugate of the denominator, square root of 2 minus x plus 1. Okay? Now let's go. Let's rewrite it like this. Lim as x approaches 1, square root of 5 minus x minus 2 in bracket, square root of 5 minus x plus 2 in bracket, square root of 2 minus x plus 1 in bracket, all over square root of 2 minus x minus 1 in bracket, square root of 5 minus x plus 1 in bracket, square root of 2 minus x plus 1 in bracket. Okay, this is what we have. Now let's solve the numerator. So you discover that we are having the conjugate all over the conjugate multiplied by the conjugate, okay, in our numerator. So we're going to simply have 5 minus x in bracket minus 4. For that is what we're going to get if we multiply the conjugate times the conjugate, okay? Now, we also have square root of 2 minus x plus 1. Then all over, in our denominator, when we have square root of 2 minus x minus 1 times square root of 2 minus x plus 1, we are going to have 2 minus x minus 1. That is 2 minus x in bracket minus 1. All in bracket. And then square root of 5 minus x plus 2. Okay? Good. Now let's go. We are going to have lim as x approaches 1. Let's open the bracket in numerator. We are going to have 5 minus x minus 4. That means we are going to have 5 minus 4. That means you have 1 minus x. Then in bracket, square root of 2 minus x plus 1. Also, let's open the bracket in a denominator. We are going to have 2 minus x minus 1. So we have 2 minus 1 will give us 1 minus x. In bracket, then we'll have square root of 5 minus x plus 2. Okay? Now, we are having lim as x approaches 1, 1 minus x, in bracket, square root of 2 minus x plus 1, all over 1 minus x, in bracket, square root of 5 minus x plus 2. Okay? So here we discover that we are having a similar thing in a numerator and also in a denominator, that is 1 minus x. So this we cancel out, okay? So after this, we'll be left with lim as x approaches 1, square root of 2 minus x plus 1, all over square root of 5 minus x plus 2, okay? Alright, from here, let's impute our value. X is equal to 1 as x approaches 1. That means we are going to insert 1 wherever we see x. So in doing so, we are going to have lim as x approaches 1, square root of 2 minus 1 plus 1, all over square root of 5 minus 1 plus 2. So in a numerator, we're going to have square root of 2 minus 1, you're going to have square root of 1, and the square root of 1 is 1 plus 1. We're going to have 2. Then in our denominator, we're going to have square root of 5 minus 1 give us square root of 4. And square root of 4 is 2. Then 2 plus 2 will give us 4. So we are having 2 all over 4. And then 2 all over 4 is the same as 1 all over 2. So therefore, we are having lim as x approaches 1, 1 all over 2. So the evaluation of the limit lim as x approaches 1, square root of 5 minus x minus 2, all over square root of 2 minus x minus 1 is 1 all over 2. Alright, thank you very much for watching. Please keep practicing, keep watching, and also subscribe if you have not done so. Alright, let's take another example.